peace, love, and abundance. You are tuning into Cruise Control Convos with Sister Soul, a space for the divine beings choosing liberation over conformity. Now relax as we journey through this beautiful, conscious conversation. It's me, y'all. It's Sister Soul with two L's. And those L's stands for lessons in love. And we are out in nature. We are out in being embraced by Mother Gaia on this beautiful day. Let's let this train go on and go. Hold on one second. Y'all, I'm so excited. It is officially the premiere of season 3, and this is episode numero uno. And it feels so good to be outside in nature. This is very expansive energy, and this season we're doing things the way we've been wanting to do it, and it just feels so good to be out here. Like, I'm just excited. So let me woosah before we even get into this today's conscious conversation. Let's take a deep breath, okay? I know I need to ground, but maybe someone out there that's watching or listening need a little bit grounding right now. So let's take a deep breath. Now, we're going to go ahead and hop right into today's conversation because we have a lot to talk about. And I don't know if you're watching this or you're listening to it, but I need to make sure that you are ready for this new beginning, because I am sure everyone that is viewing this and listening to this has just stepped into the life of their dreams, the life that they've been envisioning. And if you have not yet, I know that you are at the threshold of it. And I wanted to talk about how it feels and what it means to be Black, liberated, and multidimensional in a world that wants you to conform, in a world that wants to put you in a box and make you think that all your layers are too much or you're not doing enough. Let's dive in. I know when I was growing up, I had this big vision, right? And that vision is something that I still have today, which is why I'm so grateful that I've been seeing it through. I've been taking the time to heal and really just have faith that everything I've seen in those visions are going to come to pass, and that my dreams weren't too big. What I seen isn't impossible. You get what I'm saying? So I have recently learned, and I've recently allowed myself to say, okay, let's let go of this box mentality. Let's stop thinking about niching down to fit into a world that you're not even trying to necessarily be a part of, in a way that doesn't honor who I am as a whole. You get what I'm saying? I refuse to water myself down and make myself digestible for people that aren't even meant to be a part of my community. We shift and try to change ourselves so much to fit into worlds that don't even belong to us, to be in groups and be a part of communities that do not know how to nourish us or hold who we are completely. And I had to stop beating myself up for not knowing how to be less than what I am. I kept trying to figure out, okay, how can I just do this one thing? How can I focus in on this one thing? I was taking myself apart, and that almost destroyed me. I went through a lot of really dark moments in my life of feeling like I'm too much, or feeling like the vision that God, the divine, gave me was impossible, was wrong, it wasn't right, it was something that it was a fantasy. I went through so much thinking that there's no way that I am supposed to be fulfilling this prophecy, but at the same time everyone around me is telling me to pick one thing, and I can't be all that I am. That made a lot of problems for me, and it honestly caused a lot of spiritual warfare. But what I will say is I needed those people to question my ability to be everything that I am in a world that has forced them and that they've bowed down to. I was not meant to bow down. I was not meant to follow the rules. I was not meant to be a part of the people who were okay with trading their vision for the bare minimum. That's not my truth. That's not my story. I'm not saying that what other people are doing is wrong, but I know that is wrong for me. Okay. And all I can do is control what I do. And I had to turn out a lot of noise because being multidimensional is something that a lot of people won't understand. And that brought me comfort to know when I accepted that I'm not meant to be understood by everybody. I need to be trying to figure out how to understand myself and all the layers that I am. I'm not supposed to be out here trying to figure out if everybody else get it, especially if I don't even get it. So I took some time and I did a lot of reflecting. I listened and I watched my own content and seen the ways of where I was holding back and why I was holding back. And I just thought about those times in my lives when I was saying certain things and what I was going through and what I was currently learning, because that played a big part on why my beliefs were my beliefs in the first place. And I spoke about how your beliefs shape your reality in a previous episode in, I believe, season 2. And with that, let me say this: we are never done healing. Healing is an ongoing process. A lot of us tend to evolve. We're consistently evolving. And to stop evolving is to die. We have to grow just like the plants, like the trees, like the animals. Everything in this life is, it has energy. Everything in this life that has life grows. It goes through seasons. So why are we any different? Why are the black women and men, they, them, non-binary people and divine beings so pressured to be less than what they are? It's because who we are is too much for people that have no business trying to contain us. They don't have the capacity to love us. They don't have the capacity to honor us. They don't have the capacity to support us. So instead of them going about their way, they choose to make you feel like something is wrong with you, when in all reality, you are perfect the way you are. You just need to learn how to wield your power. You just need to learn that who you are is more than enough. Okay? You're not too much, you're not too little, you're just enough. You're more than enough, and you were divinely and uniquely created as you are. You're not to just meant to be just a singer. You're not meant to just be a mother or just a dancer or just a sister or just a brother. You are meant to be divinely you. Fuck the labels. Who are you at your core? When you wake up and you're ready to go on throughout your day, what are the things that make you excited? What are the things that resonate within your body and your frequency that say, hey, life is worth living? What are the things that you want to do that society told you that you couldn't do, but they feel so good when you do them? And I'm not talking about self-harming and overindulgence, so please use your discernment when I am speaking. But I really want you to take the time to realize that you only get this experience once. And while there's people out here telling you to do this way and this do this that way, remember that they are living a life and have a perspective from their own world, from their own experiences, and they could never be you. I Let me just take a second because I love how the sun just started shining directly on me through these branches, and it's like, okay, I'm heating up. But no, seriously, I went through so much spiritual warfare trying to fit into a box, to the point where I got put in a box. And then I thought that the world was supposed to come into the box with me to see me. And I was so afraid to be seen because I had been in a box for so long. I'm like, okay, I believe those people. I won't lie. I believe people when they told me I was too much. I believed them when they said I needed to choose one thing. And I started to do that. And then when things weren't working out and I was choosing one thing and I'm giving it my all, I'm doing everything that I can and it's still not working. I'm like, what is going on? What am I doing wrong? I wasn't being me. I wasn't honoring the person that I am, the woman that I am, the goddess that I am. As a Black woman, to please myself and to live a life of pleasure, to live a life, a womb led life, rather than a life feeling like I gotta hustle and grind, that is liberation. That is rebellion. A lot of Black women don't even know how to be in receiving mode because we are so used to fixing everything. We are so used to giving all we got. We are so used to performing and begging for the bare minimum that when someone is trying to come into our world and give us what we deserve, give us what we desire, we don't know how to receive it. So it's not that you have a hard time receiving money or you have a hard time finding love. It's you don't know how to accept things that are for you. You do not know how to accept your desires. And it's not your fault. It's not your fault. And I hold your hand when I say this next part. It is not your fault. However, it is your responsibility to rewire your nervous system and your beliefs. And you can do this. You can do this. I am proof that you can do this. I was not always this free, and I'm still learning how it, what it means to be free. I'm still learning how it feels and how it looks for me to live a liberated life, a life where I am doing the things that I please to do, a life where I am following God's calling in my life rather than the people that wants me to stay in these seasons of misery and these seasons of limited beliefs. I'm learning too. And the difference is the woman I used to be when I was in the beginning stages of my becoming, I was afraid to be seen learning. I was afraid to be seen in my becoming because I thought I was supposed to know everything. I thought I was supposed to have it all figured out. And that was because a lot of people I had around me expected me to have everything figured out. They didn't allow me to have emotions because when I did have emotions and I was putting people in their motherfucking place, it was a problem. It was too much. Oh, I'm being too hard. In all reality, I was never too anything. Motherfuckers was too weak. Motherfuckers were out of their body trying to be in spaces with me, and instead of me leaving them where they at, and I'm talking about in the past tense, instead of me leaving people where they at, I thought maybe I need to change who I am to keep them around, as if they're the only people that exist on this planet, as if God put people in my life to make me feel like I didn't deserve to live a life where I felt fulfilled, a life where I received everything that God promised me, a life where I didn't get to have my heaven on earth. I had to wait to die to get my heaven. That don't even make sense. Especially when those same people that were making me feel that way, I was pouring everything into them. I was investing in their business, writing out business plans for them, telling them what to eat, what drinks, what teas to drink, how to do their content, how to style their hair. I'm giving them all these tips. I'm giving them all my energy, just giving them everything. And then I'm confused why I have nothing, why I have no energy to pour into myself. So when I say to be Black, liberated, and multidimensional, I mean just that, because I am everything. You are everything. We are not just one thing. We were not meant to choose one thing. If we are going to be one thing, we are going to be one universe. And within that universe, we have layers. Within that universe, we have seasons. Within that universe, we have elements. Within that universe, we allow our emotions to move. We allow ourselves to feel. We allow ourselves to bloom. We allow ourselves to grow. Liberation is to know that there is nothing that you cannot do, and knowing that and embodying the knowing that I can do whatever it is in this world that I put my mind to. I can be exactly who I envisioned myself to be. I don't need anything outside of me to validate me because I am the validation. I am the manifestation. I wasn't put here to suffer. What I went through growing up was only to ignite the fire of the person that I am today. That was just the energy that I needed, the situations I need to trigger me so I can alchemize and transmute it. And it's not to say I deserved that shit. But it is to say I honor those versions of me that went through the things that they went through, doing the best that they can so I can become who I am today. I won't bow down. I will not fold. I will not condense myself for anyone or anything. And the fact that we feel like we have to do that to fit into rooms, our hair needs to be neat, our clothes can't be loud, we can't wear loud colors, we can't do this. It's so many lists of things that they tell us we can't do. What the fuck can we do? Riddle me that. What can we do? What are we allowed to do? And who said I needed permission to do anything? Huh? Who said I needed permission from anyone to be, to live, to do anything? As a black woman, as a goddess, as someone who is multidimensional, I owe it to myself to see how far I can go. I owe it to myself to see how exactly do I get to enjoy this life that I was given. I owe it to myself to show my truth and do it with poise, do it with sensuality, do it with knowing that I'm not trying to be anyone, that nothing I do is cringe, because things can only be cringe when you are comparing yourself to someone else. Things can only feel out of place when you are trying to do things the way other people do it. You are literally one of one. There is no one to compare you to. Yes, we are inspired by others. I am always inspired. I'm inspired by everything. I'm inspired by the trees. I'm inspired by the birds. I'm inspired by cars. I'm inspired by other artists. I'm inspired by everything. But with that inspiration, I always know that that is meant to be the way it is, to trigger something within me for me to awaken, for me to continue to come back home to myself, for me to continue to choose me every time I get the chance to choose me, because my ancestors, those that came before me, didn't get a choice. A lot of them had to choose survival to even make sure that the people that are here today can live. So when I'm living my life and I'm making my choices, I'm not just choosing shit for me, because I know just how other artists had to be them in order to inspire me, in order to inspire other people to keep going, to feel like they can even do anything. I know I have to be who I'm supposed to be to ignite other fires. So how would I be able to tell people to live a liberated life? How could I tell other women to live a womb-led life, a soft life, a sensual life, if I'm not doing it and I'm not doing it out loud? And just because I'm living out loud doesn't mean people have to know every part of me. Doesn't mean that they have to see every piece of my life. Doesn't mean I have to always be available for everyone or everything. And that's why it's so important to take your life back and take your power back and know you create the rules. What does it mean to you to be liberated, to be black, to be multidimensional? How does that feel in your body? To have a regulated nervous system, to know that you don't chase, but you attract, to know that your voice has more power than anything in this world, to know that you have the power inside of you, vibrating inside of you, waiting and excited to be transmuted into something else. How does that feel to know that you are exactly who the fuck you think you are? To be exactly who you know you are? To be exactly the manifestation of God that God wanted you to be. Did I say that right? To be the manifestation of God that God wanted you to be. Yeah. How does that feel to know that, damn, this really is my life? And yes, being liberated mean you might disappoint some people, because with liberation comes boundaries, speaking up for yourself, doing the things that please you, even if other people don't like it or they feel like it's too much, or it doesn't matter. People not gonna like everything you do, but it's up to you to like everything you do. I know for me, I have a lot of siblings. I'm a life lover. I'm a lover girl. So I love life, but I also appreciate my darkness. You know, I love my light and my darkness. I know we are one. I've sat in my darkness. I know how it feels to be in a place where you feel like, damn, I don't know what to do. I know how it feels to be in a place feeling like I have to control everything that goes on, and I have to be this little Miss Perfect, little Miss Golden child, golden sister, golden friend. I have to just bend and let everyone walk over me. Like I've been there. And that's why I'm so passionate about speaking up. That's why I'm so passionate about making sure that I am showing up no matter how I feel. I think people will take what I'm saying because it's not up to me. I told God I'm a vessel. I said I'm a vessel of the divine. Why the hell would anything anyone else got to say or how they feel affect me when I know I'm being used for a higher purpose and people aren't even vibrating halfway on the frequency that I am on? And I say that with humility because a lot of us, especially black women, it's like as soon as we know we the shit, now it's time to be humble when we've been humble our whole fucking lives. We've been humble our whole lives. As soon as I build my confidence, as soon as I step into my divinity, as soon as I know I'm liberated and I can do what I want to do, now is you need to humble yourself. You need to pipe down. I don't need to do shit but be me. Especially when I like having a heart so big like mine is one of my favorite things, especially now that I know how to set boundaries. Before, having a big heart felt like a curse because I let everyone walk all over me. I let everybody do what they wanted to do. And I ain't saying I never spoke up for myself, but I pick and chose when I spoke up for myself. I'm not going to lie. Because at one point in my life, I didn't want to be alone. I was so scared of being alone that I didn't mind the company that I kept. I didn't mind if I was drained for trying to fix everybody's problems and make sure everybody was fed and do all this and that. So I kept everybody around. But once I took my power back, y'all, I don't even really have friends anymore. I don't really have people that I consider friends anymore. If I'm being honest, all that you get a piece of me, all that you can get this, I'm gonna give you the bare minimum. No. If you can't take care of yourself, if you can't honor yourself, how will you be able to be there for other people? If you're not showing up for you, how do you expect other people to show up for you? So once I realized that and I got that in my head that, damn, I'm really not okay with a lot of shit that I was accepting. Parts of me understood that with change means, well, when you're changing, well, I don't even want to say changing. When you're evolving, there's going to be a lot of things. Oh, I got something in my eye. And I'm not pausing it either. Whew. Okay. I think we're good. Hold on. Okay. With change, with evolution, it will mean that some people got to get left behind, even people that you thought was going to be with you for forever, right? To my black gods and goddesses out there that know that you are constantly evolving, and to live is to evolve. I genuinely want you to take this and I want you to allow this to marinate in you, especially with Juneteenth coming up this Friday or whenever you are watching this. It does not matter. We don't need a day to tell us that we're free and liberated. But if you are watching this on the premiere week or the premiere day, when you are celebrating anything that you do, even if you're just celebrating the fact that you woke up another day, and you're realizing that you are meant to evolve, because to evolve means you are alive. I want you to always remember that time when you did not know whether you were coming or going and how God got you out of that situation. I want you to remember how you kept the faith then and how you don't need to be at your lowest to have faith at your highest. I need you to constantly remember that you are the manifestation, that you are the person that wills the power, and that you are in control, that you have control, and that you are a co-creator with God. That every layer of you deserves love. It deserves to be seen. It deserves to be honored and celebrated and supported. You were not put here to box yourself in, and you were not put here to play by anybody else's rules besides your own. If you know that you are moving with pure intentions and that you are moving in a way to where you want the collective to benefit, when you know that you are moving in a way that God is when and God is leading you, you should never second guess anything you are doing. You should never allow your emotions to go unbalanced. You always get to feel. To feel means you are alive. To evolve means you are alive. You are exactly where you need to be. You're not too far ahead. You're not too far behind. You are exactly where you need to be. And you get to control your perspective on life. Sometimes it may seem like, oh, you got on rose colored glasses. And sometimes those rose colored glasses is exactly what will help you get to exactly where you are trying to get in this reality. But there is nothing outside of you that will validate you. You are the validation, you are the manifestation. If you are interested in being a guest on this show as a Black, liberated, multidimensional being, creative, divine, whatever, I want you to reach out to me, because this season we're opening it up. This is a space for the liberators. This is a space for the divine beings choosing peace over pressure. And no one's saying that you have to have it all figured out. But one thing we will do is stop being afraid to be seen as we become, as we continue to elevate. Because once you get to one spot, you're going to keep going. Life isn't supposed to be a space where you're complacent. You owe it to yourself to see how far you can go. Literally. A lot of us have been told that our ambitions are greed, our dreams and our vision is greed, and it's not greed. We've heard that from people who have lived in a reality of what they have is just enough. But who said your life was just for you? Who said that God wasn't trying to use you for a bigger purpose? And not everyone is meant to do that. Everybody has their lane. Everybody has their thing. But I can guarantee you, whoever is on the other side of this screen, whoever is on the other side of listening to this podcast, this episode, you have purpose. You were born with purpose. And you know that. And that's why you continue to go. But I want you to know that it is you. You are the only you. You are one of one. And you are everything and have everything that you need in this moment to do whatever it is that you have been thinking about to do, and to keep going and putting in the effort for whatever it is that you are already working on. That is how I feel. That is my input on to be Black, liberated, and multidimensional. It is your girl, Sister Soul, with two L's, and the L stands for Lessons in Love. And this has been the first episode of season 3, Cruise Control Convos with Sister Soul. Peace, love, and abundance to all. I'll see y'all in the next episode.